Good evening. Gosh, yesterday we finished the second trial.
Natty told me about your run-in with the poachers. I have some news about them as well. Can you meet me soon? I fear that some of what I uncovered has to do with you.
Nobody else is sending me anything? Meet with Poppy, that's the only thing.
I have been asked to teach you the exploding charm, Bombarda. Once you have completed the tasks I've set forth, speak.
A deer call and a giant purple toad. How many spells do we have left to learn?
Class.
That's the last one. Oh no, it's not. Transformation. This really is running way, way, way better for us. This waterfall right here, our FPS tanked in front of this waterfall the first 5 times we ran past it. We didn't really come to the Slytherin common room that much, you know? But when we first got here, when we did the chest thing, ran past this every time we finished like a chapter. This was really low FPS area, and now it's not. Now it seems good. Wait, 1400? Where's this girl at?
Revelio. Likely this astronomy table will be best used when it's dark.
It's cool that the seasons change and that it's winter now. I wonder if the Great Hall is all decorated for Christmas. We should make our cloak visible again. Even though I don't love this cloak. We'd be cold otherwise, you know?
Here's one of those tables.
Salazar Slytherin's spellbook. Meet me in the Undercroft. I found something.
Revelio.
Do the beast dens show what sort of beast lives there? They do. Unicorns. Need a deer call, right? Need a deer call and a big frog. Where? Oh, Griffiths, Nifflers, Jabbernals. We haven't been down here, so we can't see any of the smaller things. But I bet this is where, like, the frogs are. Hmm. Alright, we can't do a hot swap. Can't change to the immigrant form in the air. I was thinking we already did this one since it wasn't on a map.
Time for a jaunt, I'd say. Here we go!
They don't seem to care for me in Hogsmeade. Can't say I blame them for all I've done.
Slow down now. There we go. Revelio. Highwing's fine. I'm keeping an eye on her. She's safe, Poppy, I promise.
Good. Whatever the poachers are up to, I want Highwing far from it.
You said you had news about the poachers, and that some of it had to do with me.
It did. I overheard them talking in the Hogshead, and did you know that they have orders from Victor Rookwood to capture you on sight? Does this have anything to do with Rookwood and Harlow coming for you in the Three Broomsticks after the troll attack?
It does, somewhat. But at the moment, I'm more concerned about what else you heard the poachers are up to.
Fair enough. But I hope you'll let me know if I can be of help, especially after what you did for Highwing. Does the name Horntail Hall mean anything to you?
I'm afraid not. Why? What is it?
The poachers' best kept secret, apparently. The name came up twice, but they never went into detail. I also overheard one of them bragging about all the gold they're making, at the expense of innocent creatures, undoubtedly. The poachers spoke of this area, and I thought if we searched around a bit, it might give us clues as to what they're doing. If you ever meet my gran, this trip never happened.
Not to worry, Poppy. If I ever meet your gran, I shall not speak a word of this.
I normally tell her everything. She might be my best friend after Highwing, but she knows how I feel about the poachers. I think she worries I'll do something ill-advised.
Whatever gave her that idea?
This does seem ill-advised.
This way. A centaur. Tread carefully.
An entire castle to roam, yet you choose to wander here.
Please, we don't want any trouble. We're simply passing through.
Do you take us for fools? that we do not notice more and more of your kind around here, in league with the poachers?
How's it going, Dante?
We aren't involved with them. If anything, we want to see them stopped.
I hope for your sake that is true. Our kind is swiftly losing patience with the poachers and those they work with.
We were letting Poppy handle that one. She had it under control.
He was certainly a charmer.
That could have gone worse. Centaurs aren't exactly fans of wizard kind, and the poachers aren't helping matters.
But why would he think that we had anything to do with poachers?
I did notice the poachers talking with a few villagers in Hogsmeade. I'm not sure why. Perhaps that's why the
I like it
Centaurs
a
are
lot.
suspicious.
It's a good game. The latest patch definitely made it run better for me.
That's the third time I've seen a Dugbog behave that violently.
Yeah, that was pretty dark.
It seems that a lot of beasts have been more aggressive than usual lately.
I've noticed that too. It's almost like there's something in the water.
The combat's good. I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying all the little side things. I love just picking up trash, you know?
This is odd.
Flying around and collecting
What
stuff.
is it?
Not entirely sure, but look around. If the poachers were here, perhaps we can find out why.
This is not what I'm trying to do. There's this pile of rocks here that makes me skip stones. That's press F, and I want to collect the leech juice, actually.
Why wouldn't they take their cages with them when they left?
They didn't leave.
Pelts. Poor beasts. Still smoking. They can't have been gone long.
The beer's still warm.
Revelio.
Is this what I want?
This is goblin metal. Seems out of place in a poacher camp. I should tell Poppy about it.
Anything interesting?
Poachers were here. All sorts of evidence. But I found something else. It's goblin made.
I found goblin armor. Let's keep searching, but carefully. Merlin only knows what's going on here.
We might be able to
I
up
don't
our
have a good
settings a little
feeling
bit at
about
this point,
this.
too.
How do goblin and poacher interests align?
Look, down there.
Definitely poachers. No creatures, though. So what are they doing out here?
Let's take a closer look.
They won't be happy to see us. Should we use disillusionment? Or perhaps a less discreet approach?
Hard to say from up here. Let's get a better lay of the land.
Eat shit. What the fuck do you mean, return to the quest area?
The bird is calling. I wouldn't
Enter the
say
tent.
not at all.
It's the path to the
Because
tent.
You've already caused disturbance, so no, I don't agree with you at
And
all.
now I'm good. Okay.
Moving forward because you've heard the hoot of an owl?
What does it tell us?
Someone's going to regret trespassing.
Is that you, Roland? Merlin, you'd think they were guarding the Minister for Magic himself. What is going on here?
Only one way to find out.
Alright, who do they got?
What in Merlin's name?
Are those dragons?
They're having dragon fights? with big goblin-made magic collars.
It's a dragon fighting ring. This is Hauntel Hall.
The name makes sense now. And the secrecy.
No wonder the poachers were in Hogsmeade so much. Likely taking bets and spreading the word, given how crowded it is here. How could they possibly enjoy this? The centaurs have every right to be disgusted with wizard cutting. There must be more dragons here. The poachers are far too greedy to run a fighting ring with only 2 dragons. We should take advantage of most eyes being in the fight and look around. But be discreet. You especially can't afford to be spotted.
Don't know what Victor was thinking, striking a bargain with him. Someone's here, I sense it.
Tell us.
I mean, this looks like a dead end. I think that's the way we're supposed to go, though.
Have you heard from your family? Has either of your brothers come round to our way of thinking? Will they join us?
Dad, I say we go too far. The violence isn't going to get us what we want. Want him, Bernard? I heard something.
Tell us.
Oi! Pass that fire whiskey.
Wait, speak to Poppy. What are you doing?
Did you hear those goblins? Ramrock and the poachers must be working together.
Poppy, something's going on behind you.
What's going on down there?
It's pretty
They
fucked up.
must have only just captured her. She's putting up quite the fight.
Not a fair one, then. Not with her chained up like that.
Let's even her up, shall we? Look, they've got a dragon egg. Hebridean from the looks of it. We can't leave it here, not with the plans they likely have for it.
A little more.
I was like trying to get to it as fast as possible, but the game is making me walk slow. Don't know what the point of that was. Maybe that was like a loading thing. The game really hasn't forced me to walk slow that many times. It's a little confusing that it did just now.
All right, I have the egg.
Ready. The element of surprise will only buy us a few seconds.
Let's make them count.
That's it.
Careful! Ramrock will want his dragon intact!
Look how strong you are.
So, I think you'll get it out of here.
Running home.
I can't X this guy. There he goes. I was trying to kill that guy the entire time.
Avoiding
You're the one we're looking for, and you brought a friend.
I'll check your pockets up. Stop right there.
Like to court your happiness, do you?
Why could I not break focus on that?
You don't believe you can defeat it, do you?
What am I focused on right now?
Let's play Fritter and Frey, shall we?
Are we good now? I keep, like, getting stuck focused on something else. I'm not really sure what it is.
We don't have time. We need to free her now before more show up. Accio.
This may have been a bad idea.
I suppose we'll find out.
That's pretty cool.
This way.
That was a Hebridean black.
I'm guessing the egg we have belongs to that dragon.
I don't think she knew they had her egg. She wouldn't have left without it.
What now? She didn't exactly leave us a calling card.
I don't know. Nothing about this day was expected. Not the goblins, and definitely not the fighting ring. The last thing I planned on was a dragon egg. And the poachers saw us, which cannot be good.
Since the dragon we freed flew off, does that mean we get to keep the egg?
I'd much rather we have it than the poachers, at least for now. But I don't think we should keep it indefinitely. It'll be hard hiding something like this from Professor Weasley for long.
Should we expect trouble from the poachers? Given the
You should
trouble
probably just
we
give it to
caused?
Professor
It would
Weasley.
be foolish not to expect it. They're not a forgiving lot.
Probably
I'm
just
sorry
pass the
to
egg
say
off,
that you
you know?
likely have a larger target on your back now because of what we just did.
Let
We
him
aren't
have
helping
it.
ourselves standing here. Let's get to safety. We can sort this out later.
You're right. If there's anything the poachers are good at, it's tracking their prey. And right now, we're it. Be careful, won't you? I shall see you back at the castle.
You just walking? Listen, I got a broom. You can ride it with me.
Always going somewhere, that one.
Wanna ride?
Revelio.
It's time you learned the transformation spell. After you've completed the required tasks, which I'm certain will prove useful in finishing your field guide, attend my class to learn the new spell. Afterwards, we will discuss your progress thus far in the term.
Alright, so her tasks are... an intermediate transfiguration in the library. Gosh, so many things to do. I thought we were closer to Lower Hogsfield than the castle. Where the fuck are we? We're way up here? This is not where I thought I was. I thought I flew down here to meet with her. I guess not, though. I think I was just going in the wrong direction.
Revelio.
Alright, well that's even farther than the castle, so let's just do castle one. Let's do this. Let's learn spells. Let's learn transformation. Then let's go out of our way to go find a deer call and a giant purple toad. Let's just fast travel to the library. Because this will knock out
Revelio.
the rest of the spells that we have. Maybe we'll do Sebastian's quest next, but I don't want to actually learn the curses, so.
That book Professor Weasley asked me to find.
Looking for the book Intermediate Transfiguration.
Professor Weasley asked me to, get something from that book. May I have it?
Did she now? I'll give you this book if you humor me by answering a few questions from my quiz.
Quiz?
Some people call bits of knowledge trivia. I would argue that no knowledge is trivial. Hence, I have created a small quiz, just for fun, focusing mainly on the lore of the wizarding world. None of the other students will try it, no matter how many times I ask. They all say they have enough with schoolwork. Ugh, they don't value knowledge the way I do. Surely you're interested. I'll even start you off with a few of my easiest questions.
If I have
if
to.
If that's the only way I can convince you to give me that book, then let's get it over with.
Splendid! Just a few questions, and then I'll hand over this book. Let us begin. Before the invention of the golden snitch, which magical creature was used in a game of Quidditch?
What? The golden snidget.
Correct! The snidget was first introduced to Quidditch in 1269 by a wizard named Barbarous Bragg. Sadly, they're thought to be extinct. Next question. Which potion is commonly referred to as liquid luck?
Oh, that one I know. Felix Felicis.
Felix Felicis.
Well done.
That one's in the movie.
Since it makes the drinker temporarily lucky, Felix Felicis is a banned substance in all organized competitions. The tale of the three brothers involves which magical artifacts?
Oh, I just watched that movie too.
The Deathly Hallows.
Correct. According to Beadle the Bard, the Deathly Hallows consists of the Elder Wand, the Resurrection Stone, and the Cloak of Invisibility. Which ball in Quidditch is the largest?
The quaffle.
The quaffle.
That's right. When a chaser throws the quaffle through one of 3 hoops in a Quidditch match, their team is awarded 10 points. True or false? Polyjuice potion allows the drinker to change species.
This is a weird one, because I think the lore says false. But she definitely changes species in the movie.
True.
Actually, the answer was false. While Polyjuice Potion can be used to change things such as age or race, it cannot be used to change species. Well, I suppose this has gone on long enough. I'll put the book back on the pedestal.
He definitely turns into a
if
cat
you're
in the
inclined to
movie.
test your knowledge again, I have plenty more questions I could ask you. And I won't be giving you any more easy questions either. The next ones will be more difficult.
I'd like to answer more questions.
What governmental body directly preceded the Ministry of Magic?
The Order of Merlin.
No, that's incorrect. The answer was the Wizards' Council. The Wizards' Council disbanded in 1707 after the creation of the International Statute of Wizarding Secrecy, which required a more structured government to support its enforcement. Which dragon breed is the smallest?
This one.
The Antipodean Opale.
No, I'm sorry, but the answer was the Peruvian Vipertooth. Though the Vipertooth is the smallest breed, averaging at around 15 feet in length, it is also the fastest breed and feared for its venomous fangs. Who founded the village of Hogsmeade?
Quincy Hogg. Surely.
Quincy Hogg.
No, the answer was Hengist of Woodcroft. It is believed that Hengist used the Three Broomsticks Inn as his home. The hide-behind was accidentally created by crossbreeding a ghoul with what other magical creature?
Dude, the hide-behind is real? In the Hogwarts universe? That's cool. I mean, it's gotta be a demiguise, right?
A demiguise.
Yes! While the hide-behind has the power of invisibility, those who have seen it have described it as a tall, thin monkey with silver hair. What is the only spell known to repel a letherfold?
The knockback.
The knockback jinx.
Actually, the answer was the Patronus charm.
What?
The only known survivor of a letherfold attack was a wizard named Flavius Belby, who was on holiday in Papua New Guinea at the time. Who published the law of elemental transfiguration?
I don't know any, like, I feel like I'm just taking 33% chances. The game's not punishing me, though, for getting things wrong. It's just telling me the right answer.
Gamp.
That's it! One of the principal exceptions to Gamp's law is that food cannot be conjured, though it can be summoned. What does the Hogwarts motto translate to?
Gosh, I don't know.
Knowledge is the real magic.
No, the answer was, never tickle a sleeping dragon. In Latin, the Hogwarts motto is Draco Dormiens Nunquam Titilandus. Which magical creature is the only one known to produce eggs through its mouth?
Gosh, we've seen a lot of Ashwinder eggs.
The Ashwinder.
That's incorrect. The correct answer was the Rune's Paw. According to Parselmouths, each of the Rune's Paw's 3 heads serves a different function. The left head is the planner, the middle is the dreamer, and the right is the critic. Where is Ilvermorny School of Witchcraft and Wizardry located?
I saw this on Reddit. It's in the US.
Mount Greylock.
Well done! The American school was founded in the 17th century by Iseult Sayre and James Stewart. What is the most powerful love potion known to wizard kind?
I guess it might not be in the US. It's in North America. The most powerful... this one. It's gotta be, because this is the Truth Serum. Induce Euphoria doesn't sound right.
Amortentia.
That's the answer. Amortentia smells differently to every person, according to what they find attractive. Such as dusty book covers, or... Are you interested in continuing on to the next round? They're my most difficult questions.
Sure, fuck it.
Give me your worst.
We're already here, we might as well just finish it off.
I do admire your thirst for knowledge. Emmerich the Evil was killed in a duel against whom?
Who knows?
Beatrix Bloxham.
Incorrect. The answer was Egbert the Egregious. Emmerich gained notoriety for terrorizing villages in the south of England during the Middle Ages, when he was the master of the Elder Wand. If a chaser keeps their hand on the quaffle as it goes through the goal, what foul are they committing?
Stooging. They're a stooge. I called her a nerd when we started, and then she made me start answering questions, so I figure I might as well just see it all the way through to the end. We're gonna say it's stooging.
Stooging.
The answer was actually haversacking. Blatching is flying to intentionally collide with a player. Stooging is when two chasers knock the other team's keeper away from the goals so that a third chaser can score. A bite from a mackled malaclaw has the unusual side effect of causing what?
Bad luck.
Bad luck.
Correct! Native to the European coastline, the effects of a malaclaw's bite can last up to a week. What plant excretes stink sap?
Mimbulus mimbletonia, fluxweed, Supiforus bean. Well, Supiforus means stinky, right?
Supiforus bean.
I'm afraid the correct answer was Mimbulus mimbletonia. The Mimbulus mimbletonia plant secretes stink sap as a defensive mechanism when touched.
Is that not like another word for smelling?
Evolved from a remedy created by which 12th century wizard?
Richard, you can blatch me, dude. Pepper Up Potion evolved from a remedy created by which 12th century wizard? Who's your favorite 12th century wizard? You know what, we're gonna say Bowman Wright because this is my last name.
Bowman Wright.
That's incorrect. The answer was Limfrid of Stinchcombe. Centuries later, Glover Hipworth would expand on Limfrid's previous work to create the Pepper Up Potion we know today. In The Wizard and the Hopping Pot, what does the elder wizard leave for his son in the hopping pot?
A slipper, his wand, or a smaller pot. I mean, it's gotta be a smaller pot, right?
A smaller pot.
Incorrect. The answer was a single slipper. The
This girl
story
doesn't
was
know
created
shit.
by Beadle the Bard, but there are a few versions. I won't spoil what the slipper was for if you haven't read it recently. The Snallygaster is native to which region of the world?
The Scottish Highlands.
No, the answer was North America. The part bird, part reptile is a distant relative
getting
of
them
the
all
Occamy
wrong, dude.
and has
We were
serrated
doing pretty
fangs
good
and a
earlier.
bulletproof hide. Who is the Muggle knight featured in the Fountain of Fair Fortune?
Sir Lancelot.
Sir Lancelot.
No, the answer was Sir Luckless. The three witches in the story are named Asher, Altheda, and Amata. Oh, I adore a story that ends with a twist. The world's largest kelpie is also known by what other name?
Oh, that's the Loch Ness Monster, baby.
The Loch Ness Monster.
Correct.
I knew that
The Office
one.
of Misinformation has worked diligently to discredit any Muggle evidence of the kelpie's existence. Who was the first Minister for Magic?
Cadmus Peveril was one of the guys who got the Deathly Hallows. Could have been him. Ulick Gamp. Gamp wrote a bunch of books, apparently. Ethelred the Ever-Ready. Ethelred's a very, like, 1200s name.
Ulick Gamp.
Yes. Gamp's greatest legacy was the founding of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement. It outlawed the unforgivable curses. You've answered all of my questions. It's nice to know there's another student who appreciates the value of knowledge. You might not have got very many right, but I'm sure you learned something regardless. Thank you for humoring me by participating. I had a splendid time.
You know what, Sophrony?
I put the book back on the pedestal for
The
you.
only reason I kept going was
very
because you were
ordinary quick
smiling
work
the
of
other
this.
time. She was having a nice time. That's what we were here for.
Professor Weasley's tasks are complete. I should attend Transfiguration.
How are you, Richard? How's it going? keeping in mind that everything you say will be preserved forever on the VOD. How you doing, dude? How's life? You're sick. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully not sick. Just a little sick. What up, little cutie? It's concept art. Why is the texture on this art so good and like a lot of the other art's not as good?
Off on another adventure, are we?
What, did we just advance time all the way through the day and now it's night again? It's annoying.
Can we meet at the Three Broomsticks? It may finally be safe since we rescued the dragon from Horntail Hall.
I heard Professor Weasley transfigured the book with all her test answers into an owl to stop students from cheating.
Taking owls a
Hello,
bit
Gareth.
too literally, if
So,
you ask
has your aunt
me.
been taking it a bit easier on you lately?
Unfortunately, no. In fact, a few days ago, she gave me a detention. I was only testing a new recipe in a mostly empty classroom, and the fire was put out quick enough.
If you're setting things on fire, then perhaps you ought to rethink your choices.
That's exactly what Aunt Matilda said. Can't let the doubters sway me. When they taste my latest brew, they'll forget their criticisms and the fires. It'll be bigger than butterbeer. Oh, that gives me an idea. Better write it down. Best of luck to you.
We're helping Gareth. He wants to blow shit up. We're here to help him.
Settle down, settle down. Transfiguration, as you may be weary of hearing me say, is an exact science that can take a lifetime to master. But we needn't be daunted. Almost anything can be transformed if you can just perceive the potential.
Is this what she
within
looks
it.
like and sounds
As
like?
I see in all of you, tremendous witches and wizards, every one of you. Or it could just be my eyesight. Now, you all know what to do.
I turned that something into a gigantic butterfly.
Beautifully done.
You wanted to discuss my progress so far this term, Professor.
I did. You seem to have had no trouble in getting up to speed, and frankly, excelling in your schoolwork this year.
Thank you, Professor. The extra assignments have been helpful.
As I suspected they would be. Now, it seems you've been making good use of the opportunities presented by your field guide. Of course, the guide isn't the only measure of success. I've heard that you were able to grow a venomous tentacula. Growing such a magical plant is an accomplishment of which you can be quite proud.
Thank you, Professor.
I will say I'm especially impressed with all you've accomplished in light of the rumors of your extracurricular activities.
What rumors?
Were your meetings with Professor Black's house elf and exploration of various caves down by the lake connected in any way to Professor Fig?
Oh yeah, we never let Professor Weasley in on this shit, did we? No.
Not at all. I was intrigued by stories of a giant squid and wanted to learn more. I encountered Scrope, who seemed delighted to share what he knew.
I see. I admire your penchant for learning, but do remember that your classwork and field guide are designed to educate you thoroughly. It'll be the end of the year in no time, and you'll want to be well prepared for your OWLs. I'll provide a final assessment at that time to ensure that you're ready for your exams. Until then, well done. You are dismissed.
Okay.
Since our visit to Feldcroft, something dawned on me about the triptych. Meet me at the Overlook, just north of the Forbidden Forest, and I'll explain.
What's this?
My plan with the helmet failed, but I have another idea. I think we may be able to find what we need at a goblin mine south of Hogwarts. Meet me there, and bring someone who speaks gobbledygook.
Bring someone who speaks gobbledygook.
Revelio.
Why would I need to do that if I'm meeting a goblin there? What's the point of having the goblin with me if he's going to ask me to be a translator? That little minigame was me casting Aloha Mora to unlock the lock. That was our lock-picking minigame. What's up, Adelaide?
Adelaide Oaks, isn't it? I received your owl.
Yes, I'm Adelaide Oaks. Oh dear. You see, my Uncle Roland is a metal trader who's quite well known in the goblin community. He normally sends me owls every week when he's on his business travels. In his last owl, he alluded to dealings with those radical goblins, Ranrock's loyalists. It's been ages since that owl and I'm worried. What with the troll attack on Hogsmeade and the rumours that goblins may have been involved, well, I'm fearing the worst. Should I be worried about my uncle, or am I overthinking this?
Yo, you should be worried.
I think you're right to be concerned, Adelaide. Your uncle may be in trouble.
You're much more understanding than Professor Weasley. She heard I was going to look for him and forbade me from leaving the grounds. She's convinced he can handle himself, but I can't concentrate on anything until I know he's all right. Could you try to find out for me? From what I hear, you're almost as adventurous as Uncle Roland.
I take it you and your uncle are close.
We are. My mother died when I was born, and I lost my father when I was 5. Uncle Roland's looked after me for as long as I can remember. He knows I get anxious when he travels, and that's why he sends me all the owls, to let me know that he's all right.
In the lockpicking minigame, the objective on spinning the little things is just to get the other gears spinning.
Even speaks gobbledygook, but he only recently
I can show you if I find another one, but basically you just have to... put the
insisting
inner and the outer
galleons
ring
will
in the right
worth the
spot,
risk.
and the way you tell
He
that
does
it's the
it for
right spot
me.
is the other
Between
gears start
robes
spinning.
and supplies,
It's easy.
attending Hogwarts costs a fair sickle. And besides that, Uncle Roland has expensive taste. He's sacrificed so much for me over the years. I promised him that as soon as I finish Hogwarts, I shall be the...
I'll try and look into it for you, Adelaide.
Thank you. He's very thorough in his record keeping, notes all his trades in a journal, makes maps. In fact, in his last owl, he drew me a map of his next stop. He planned to set up camp north of here. I do hope you're able to find out where he is. Thank you again for any help you can provide.
I'm on it, Adelaide.
I hope Adelaide's Uncle Roland is all right. She seems very worried. Adelaide mentioned her uncle's camp may be near Brockborough, past the river.
And the other thing with the locks is that they can only be in, like, the 8 main directions. 8 cardinal directions. So, it's not really that hard to find the correct one.
Could this be Mr. Oakes's campsite? Ranrock's Loyalists, just ahead.
What have we here? Another human.
Revelio.
Well, this might be the best meal I've had in years. No, I mean it. I don't think I shall need to eat again till next week.
Tell us.
Oh, little Mooncup. Much too slow.
You know what? Why don't you just die? Go away.
Now, find out what happened here.
I want this and this.
Revelio. Mr. Oakes's trade journal. Adelaide said that her uncle kept notes of his trades, maps. Perhaps these landmarks will lead me to him.
We do a lot of murders.
Confringo!
For a game that's like, you
This
know,
could prove dangerous if I'm not careful.
Harry Potter's a kid's thing. Overall, we do a lot of, like, horrifically ripping people apart. So that actually... I think that's all that's in here. Use Roland's map to follow his trail. This is his camp. I think we want to go around this big rock. Or wait, is this the busted thing right here?
You've nowhere to hide!
Thought we'd forget about that goblin helm you stole. Enjoy stealing him.
Not really. Like, I was watching the movies, right? I've watched all of the movies in the last few days. Stupefy doesn't even put people to sleep, it just knocks them way the hell away. Half the time in the movies, when somebody gets hit with a Stupefy, they fly out a window. And you just never see them again. Like, and people die all the time, like, from spells that aren't Avada Kedavra. Like, Goyle in the last movie I just watched lights the room of a requirement on fire and dies because he kills himself with the fire because he's a dumbass. And nobody even mentions it again. nobody even mentions him. I guess he did it to himself, but still. How do we see the map? Inventory, quest, mapists. You think this is the house I'm at? Probably not. We go down the river. Or wait, yeah, we're starting here. This is the camp. We go down the river until we get to this thing, and we go across the river and we see that. So we gotta go to like a tower or something. You think that's it? Doesn't really look like it. Let's go back up. Where's that the camp?
Revelio.
Game hasn't very often given me a quest objective that wasn't just like
Who lived here, I wonder?
go straight to the thing, you know? What the fuck was that?
Let's get this over with, shall we? I have things to do. You've put quite a...
I don't actually want to do this right now. This isn't the thing I was looking for. And I don't think I know how to do this thing. Whatever this is, I'm not really sure how it works. Maybe we just do this. Am I done? No?
Yeah.
Accio, Guardian Leviosa.
If only Professor Fig could have seen that.
Oh, increase your ancient magic meter capacity.
Confringo. Glacius.
Now how do I get out of here? Just climb this.
Wingardium Leviosa. Leviosa.
Damn. Why doesn't this work?
Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
Let's see. We gotta do the bone thing.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Use the human remains to create a ladder. I don't know. Maybe stupefy, like, I never really saw them stupefying people and putting them to sleep. They do a lot of Petrificus Totalis in the movies. That doesn't put people to sleep, it just paralyzes them. Alright, Roland's map. I'm gonna go back to that house and assume that that was the right place. Go across the river there. Wait, this is the wrong way. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm a Harry Potter lore expert, though. Probably.
It's always a pleasant surprise when there are no... Everyone in Upper Hogsfield shudders when they see me coming, and rightfully so. It's been a bit grim, I won't deny, but the tides will turn for us soon.
Revelio.
Alright, this was his camp. The river's here. First landmark's a big rock, right? Stay along the river. The second landmark's a little rock with a tree.
That's the first landmark on this map.
Where's
Now,
this
to
rock?
find the crooked tree.
Good tree. Is that a crooked tree right there? Is this a crooked tree?
It's all about having a keen eye. Take me, for instance. My eye's as keen as a niffler's on a pile of gold. Or a logtail to a sow. I'm not bragging.
It's a tower thing.
I know what that means. Merlin trial. This place has seen better days.
Revelio. Confringo.
Revelio.
Let's go back to that rock. Probably we can see the place we need to go from that rock. Is this the crooked tree, though?
A crooked tree, just as the map said. The
All
crumbling tower shouldn't be far from here.
That's the crooked tree. Here's the crumbling tower.
And the crumbling tower. The spot on the map should be directly south of here. What do we have here?
Revelio.
Perhaps not the best place to be caught alone.
That was not my most stealthy.
I may
Right.
have more luck higher up in the keep. A ladder. That's what I need.
The ladder, what I need? I could just use my broom.
One
Just vaporize them. Our gear slots are full.
Revelio.
Some of these chests aren't going to be gear, they're going to be other stuff, so I feel like I want to keep touching them, but we gotta go back to town and sell some shit.
This is the spot on the map. I'd best have my wits about me. Now here's a sad-looking place.
Tell us.
Good thing they didn't hear me kill their friends.
What will we find in here?
Revelio.
When I walk? Who is it?
Are you coming? Are you stopping there? Oh, he turned around so he doesn't see us anymore. Alright, I guess we're...
Nothing. No one here as usual. It's punishment to us all to have that miserable human around. What's that? Up for a bit of dying, are we?
It looks as though Adelaide's instincts were spot on.
Pink bonk. Damn, we can't even pick this shit up. Alright, let's just destroy some green gear in the off chance that we get some other ones. We'll destroy blues too. Alright, that should be good. I don't know if you're still there, Richard. Here's this lock. A and D turn this inside red ring, and we just gotta make it into a spot where it spins. It's down and right. Q and E turn the outside ring. Also down and right. That's all there is. It's not difficult. In fact, it's so easy that I kind of wish it was different.
How nice of you to stop by.
But I guess I'd rather have it be easy than too hard, since I have to do it 1,000
You
times.
only have Ranrock to blame.
Confringo.
I gotta go down side paths, you know? Unidentified face, dude. Hell yeah. Or clumps, we love those.
He'll learn his lesson after being locked away. You can count on that.
You gonna turn around or what? Prisoner.
Next time I see Fig or that student, I'll give them what they deserve.
A boiler
see.
door. How to open it?
I see. We opened the door without opening the door. We might need to do one other thing though. These guys are both down.
Quiet as a grapple, and you are.
Alright. Why isn't this open? Or is it open? It is.
Do with a nice mushroom stew about now.
Is this the way I want to go, though? That's the other question. All that for a green coat that I'm not going to wear. I'm beginning to get the feeling that I want to go down the path through the steam door. Oh, you know what? That feeling is rapidly changing now that I look at where the dot is.
One way or another, we'll get what we're owed.
Oh, this is like a boss fight room. I don't know that it's going to be possible for me to get these guys stealthily. Surely they just all spot me.
I will make you pay. I won't rest. All of you will regret coming here. Seems you're up. I will make you pay. I won't rest. I will make you pay. Stop it! I got this. I won't rest.
Your blood's on Ranrock's hands.
I'm feeling like I got pretty bloody hands right now. Did we kill the boss in there somewhere? Like his name showed up. I didn't recognize him amongst any of those guys. Didn't really see him in there.
This must be Mr. Oakes's wand. Perhaps now he can set himself free.
He's gonna set himself free?
What's down there?
Love a death rattle.
Hello? Mr. Oakes?
Yes, I'm here. They've taken my wand. This cell has an enchanted lock. I have experience with these locks, but I need my wand if I have any chance of opening it. Look for a boiler door. I've heard them speak of it.
Fortunately, I've already found your wand, Mr. Oakes.
Oh, you found it! Pass it to me. Hurry, before they come.
There's nobody left.
Hurry!
There's not really any hurry left, but here's your wand.
You did it!
Look at this fancy
Found
guy.
my wand and... Wait, you're a student? Oh, we must get you to safety immediately. It's dangerous.
It's all right, Mr. Oakes. I've dealt with these goblins before.
Dear Merlin, you're either very lucky or very talented. Well, how did you find me?
I'm a friend of Adelaide's. She was worried about your business with Ranrock's loyalists.
Oh, she was right to be. I couldn't go through with the agreement, and when I told them, I ended up blindfolded and behind bars.
Well, it seemed blindfolded.
Locked in that infernal cell for so long, they'd forgot I was even there. I overheard things. If only I could reward you for what you've done. Blasted goblins stole every knut on me. All I can say is thank you, truly.
Am I right that you speak gobbledygook?
Unbeknownst to Ranrock's fiends, I do. I've always had an affinity for goblin culture. Knew I wanted to be a metal trader ever since I was a lad. It wasn't easy learning the language. It's complex, and my memory's as weak as my knees these days. But after decades working with fine goblin folk, I grew fairly proficient. At least, I'd like to think so.
You mentioned you overheard things.
Sad tale, really. I think I know where Ranrock's unfortunate vendetta against wizardkind began. Although dragon breeding was outlawed by the Warlocks Convention of 1709, Ranrock stumbled upon an illegal dragon camp. He was young, found the creatures fascinating. He'd visit the camp in secret whenever he could, never making his presence known. After weeks of sly surveillance, he finally summoned the courage to speak to the wizard in charge. Ranrock wanted to join them, and the creatures. The wizard happened to drop his wand. Ranrock saw an opportunity. He picked it up, went to hand it back as a means of introducing himself. The sight of a goblin with a wand sent the wizard into an instant rage. He beat Ranrock nearly to death. Ever since, Ranrock has despised wizardkind, sees us all as cruel.
That's what the whole thing's about?
I'm grateful I was able to help you, Mr. Oakes. Adelaide thinks the world of you.
Oh, and I her. She's become quite savvy to my trading habits, always analyzing my detailed owls. If only I hadn't resorted to trading with such fiends. A lesson I shan't soon forget. Having my wand back is like being reunited with an old friend. I must return home and inform Adelaide of my safety. Will you be all right?
I'll be fine, Mr. Oakes. You get back to Adelaide. I assure you her worries outweigh yours.
Oh, I'm anxious to see my dear niece. And then I plan to travel far from here for my next round of trading. Thank you. May life reward you justly for your deeds. Be well, my friend.
Mr. Oakes was lucky. Ranrock's lot would never have freed him.
So, Ranrock is an angry goblin because some wizard beat him up once. So we can't get up that way. Now that I'm back out all this way, I bet there was another path out at the end. Oh wait, this is not the right way to go. It's fine. Oh shit. Oh, this is wrong. Most of these dungeons have had like a Skyrim exit. Oh shit. Oh no, I'm good. Where there's just an easy to get to exit at the end of it, but I neglected that this time. Very foolishly. It's probably inside Merlin's cell.
You haven't had much to do like what my mother used to make.
What do we got in here? Ortego. I missed one in there, actually. Quidditch captain's uniform. Yes. Let's do... Oh, speak to Amit about gobbledygook. Let's go meet Sebastian. Let's go meet Sebastian in the Undercroft, though, actually.
What are you up to now?
Oh, wait. Shit. We'll go take care of our gear after. None of these would be even as close to as good as this if we upgraded them, so I'm not like sweating the destroying them part. Like the first upgrade adds 6 to it, I think. Oh wait, or did it add 6 offense? Not really clear. Let's go learn another curse. Or decline to learn. Anyway.
You'll never believe what I've learned.
What did you discover in the spellbook we found in the scriptorium?
Salazar Slytherin's spellbook was a little difficult to interpret, but fascinating. Evidently, he encouraged teaching dark magic at Hogwarts. Neither the Imperious Curse nor the Killing Curse was unforgivable during his time. He believed students should be prepared to use dark magic when necessary, not to fear it. That's why we had to use Crucio to gain access to the scriptorium. He didn't want his knowledge shared with anyone who was afraid of the power of dark magic.
It was hard to do, but casting Crucio was our only option.
And I'm glad we did it, because in the spellbook I also found something else. References to a lost relic, which, from what I can tell, grants the holder the power to reverse dark magic curses.
And you think this relic might be able to save Anne?
Precisely. I plan to search for this relic, but I don't think we should tell anyone. Especially Ominous. He wouldn't understand.
We need to tell him. He's the reason we found the book, and he deserves to know what you've learned.
You've seen how he frets about the dark arts. I promise, I'll tell him when I found the relic. When I know more, I shall send an owl.
That was it? That was all I came down here to
And
talk
don't
to you
feel
about?
sorry for Ominous. Keeping this to ourselves for now is for his own good.
I'll decide what's for my own good.
Ominous, we were just about to get some air. Care to join?
You're a liar, Sebastian. I heard everything. You swore you'd never engage in anything to do with dark magic again.
No, I didn't. I said I understood you wanting that. I'd never swear to give up on finding a cure for Anne.
You don't know when to stop, do you?
I know when not to stop. Leave this alone, Ominous. I'll be on my way.
I'm not letting this go.
Ominous, Sebastian meant well.
I appreciate you telling Sebastian not to keep this from me, but going after that relic is not a good idea. Sebastian doesn't even realize it, but he's as irresponsible and reckless now as his parents were years ago. It's why they died.
I knew his parents died, but I never heard what happened.
Mr. and Mrs. Sallow were professors. Spent nearly every waking moment in the cellar library. Noses buried in books. Anne and Sebastian were upstairs when it happened. They heard a sudden crash and ran downstairs, but it was too late. Their parents had crumpled to the floor. A defect with the lamp in the cellar caused the room to fill with an undetectable
So it wasn't really
toxin.
like...
Sebastian and Anne were helpless. They had no magic yet.
What a horrible story.
It is. That's why I can't understand Sebastian's recklessness. I've practically lost Anne. I cannot lose Sebastian too. Please avoid anything to do with that spell.
It wasn't like dark magic killed his parents, though. It was like a gas leak.
Those references in the book seem promising.
Everything to do with Salazar Slytherin seems promising until it's too late. I hope Sebastian pursues this no further, but if you think he might, please let me know. It would mean a lot.
Alright. That was a nice quest. Just 2 little conversations, and we got to do some dialogue. I didn't have to take any lives over the course of that quest, so nothing wrong with that one, eh? Let's do this one. We're basically at the base of the defense against the Dark Arts Tower right now. This was not here before.
This must be the entrance to the Hall of Herodiana. Hall of Herodiana. Better go inside and find those puzzles. Now to see if Herodiana Byrne was as good as Sophronia said she was.
Exactly am I trying to do here? Just trying to get up to the top. Are these just Sokoban puzzles? Is that what we're about to do?
That wasn't too hard. I wonder what's next.
That happened because I was in front of it? It was. I mean, that's fine, right? And some textures.
I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Just one left.
Huh. Now what? We gotta get it over to this side. In order to do that, we gotta get it past this thing. It's not really a Sokoban puzzle. do this?
Levioso. Accio.
Okay, I see. Like, there's a way we can get it down here and then to this side. How do we ride it across, though?
Anna's getting worse. If there is any chance that the relic from Slytherin's spellbook can help her, I must find it. I'm requesting your help. Side of Feldcroft, near the catacomb.
Hit the cool. Brown eye. Why would they even name it that? Okay, I mean, this is a spot to have it, right? I don't think I can make this jump, though. Close. Like, I feel like we need to set it up so that I'm there before I get to this part. Right? I feel like we skipped a step somehow. Go out this far, okay. Is there any way to get it back to where it was? don't feel like there is. I don't think there is a way to get it back to this side. Now that it's over there, it's locked to this bit. How do I get over? What if I leave if it resets?
I see. The switch reset everything.
Alright.
Good to know.
That is good to know. We just needed to know about the reset switch, that's all.
Seems I was a match. And this must be the last piece of Herodiana's ensemble. It is remarkable. No wonder Sophronia wanted to see this.
Alright, you say it's remarkable, now I have to see it. I didn't care about it before, but now I need to know. What's the other part of it? A hat? Let's go find that nerdy girl.
It's tradition in my family to play
Sophronia, I solved all the puzzles in the Hall of Herodiana.
Incredible! Then you found Herodiana's outfit. May I see it?
Of course. Behold.
Oh, how grand! You'll look as majestic as Herodiana herself, the greatest Depulso master of all time. You're my second favorite hero!
That's nice.
My entire family's been sorted into
Okay. Alright, this is the one that teaches me the curse, if we do it. Let's go talk to Deke. No, you know what? Let's go to Hogsmeade and sell our shit. We have so much stuff.
Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade?
you're back. Nice to see you again. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again.
Let's go to Tomes and Scrolls and buy the rest of the things we don't have. Buy all the spellcrafts
It's
here.
always nice to see a familiar face.
Probably afford them.
Nothing like finding just the right thing, is there? Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help.
I don't know if there's anything else we need to buy, like, in the entire game.
Revelio. Alohomora. Revelio.
Nothing in here. We just came in and stole somebody's hat. Let's go back and see Deke.
Deke would like to talk with you when you have a moment.
Hello, Deke. Professor Weasley said you wanted to tell me more about the loom.
Ah, hello. Yes, about that. Deke has had a thought. He... Seems the room thinks you need more space for your beasts. As Deke was saying, he's had a thought. Now, Deke knows how you can test the item of clothing that you enhanced in the enchanted loom. And perhaps help an old friend in the process.
What do you mean?
A house elf named Tobbs works for his master, retrieving leech juice in a cave near Hogwarts. Tobbs' master doesn't let him leave the cave, and Deke knows the cave is infested with spiders.
That sounds awful.
It is. Deke hasn't heard from his friend for a while now. As the item you wove in the loom has an enchantment that might be useful, Deke thought you could test it whilst checking on Tobbs.
I understand. Leave it to me, Deke. I'll find Tobbs for you.
Oh, thank you. Please let Deke know what you learn about Deke's old friend.
Deke, you really don't have to couch the entire thing in a stupid help me test my clothing thing. What are we supposed to put in here? Okay, so this is just another 4 species slots. Can I also summon their feeding station? Yeah. What do you mean purchase from Tomes and Scrolls? We just bought everything from there. We didn't see it. Let me pet you. God damn you.
Revelio.
Alright, we got our Thestral here.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
I should investigate. This must be Tob's cave. I suppose I can go inside.
Confringo! Confringo!
Tob's master is awful. Tobbs? Tobbs? Deke sent me. Are you in here?
Accio! Confringo! Confringo! Accio! Confringo!
That's cute. It would have been cuter if I wasn't looking down at that skeleton, but it's still cute. I know he's
It looks
gone.
as if Tobbs was here some time ago. He must have headed deeper into the cave.
Confringo! Accio! Confringo! Confringo! Glacius!
do 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 do.
There's a victory that can...
That was cute. That was a good animation.
That didn't sound particularly reassuring.
Confringo!
Poor Tops has to go deeper and deeper into the cave.
We did use simply too many.
We did use a lot of potions there, but you know what? That's okay. We hadn't fought one of those guys before. He was just a little bigger and faster. Do you think that's side path? Or do you think that's side path?
Oh no. I have a feeling that house elf is Tobbs. Poor Tobbs. Left here alone with the spiders.
Listen, I'm a Slytherin. I don't really care about the house elves. They got about
That table looks familiar.
25 years
Seems I'm
left
back at the entrance to the cave.
before they get their liberation, you know? Not my problem, basically, is what I'm saying. Sorry about your friend Deke. He dead.
I'm back from the cave, Deke.
Wonderful. Deke hopes you gave Deke's best to Tobbs.
I'm sorry to tell you this, Deke, but Tobbs is gone. It seems he was unable to avoid the spiders in the end.
Oh my. Deke was afraid of this, alone in that cave for so long. Oh, poor Tobbs. Deke and Tobbs once shared the same master. When he died, we were separated. Deke always wished Tobbs had been sent to Hogwarts too. Deke feels lucky to serve such kind witches and wizards like you. Deke will miss his friend dearly, and will raise a glass to him with a heavy heart.
I'm truly sorry about your friend, Deke.
Thank you. You are very kind. Deke could use some time alone to think, if that's all right.
Poor Deke. Brown Eye of new goofy shit. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I guess we're wearing these goofy looking goggles for a little while again. I'm gonna change them. I'm just taking them back off. Let's do like some regular ass robes. Distinguished? We distinguished? Let's do competitive. We got our Adidas stripes on. let's do this, and then we'll stop. Let's just go catch a deer call and a purple toad, and we'll be done. This is going to take us a little while, but it is pointing us towards the things that we need to catch, which is nice. But this is like the last non-cursed spell that's in the game, so... It's like sort of signaling
What
that
do you
this
have in
is,
store for me this time?
you know, among the final parts of this collection.
Revelio.
This looks intriguing.
I was a proud man that day.
Revelio. Legacioso.
Do cooperate, won't you? Settle yourself. I mean you no harm.
Revelio.
These rocks have seen better days.
One has to always keep an eye on one's value.
They put Dog Bog while it's waiting to use its sneak attack.
Revelio. Levioso.
Assignment's all finished.
Interesting. I fought Duglogs a bunch of times. I never thought to flip one over. But now that it says that, sounds like it would work. I have to try and keep that in mind. I have to try and remember that. Well, what the fuck? We advanced time, it didn't change. You know what? I changed my mind. I don't like these Adidas stripes on our robe. What does this look like? Huh.
Excellent work today. Class dismissed.
That's quick.
I take it you're ready to learn your new spell.
I completed your assignment, Professor. I'm ready to learn Bombarda now.
Good. Now, this spell comes with a caveat. It should only be used when necessary. The exploding charm, as you might suspect, can hurt people. Use caution when casting it.
I will, Professor.
I will hold you to that promise. Now, you must be precise in your wand movements. We don't want you blowing your hand off. Go ahead. Nice and steady wand movements. Remember, the exploding charm is highly volatile. Well done. Now, let us put it into practice, shall we? Go ahead and try it on the pumpkins.
Bombarda!
Excellent wand work. Cast the spell just like that every time. Assured and in control. Textbook execution.
Professor, might I have a moment?
Yes. What is it?
I was wondering, what inspired your interest in magical beasts?
Are you considering some sort of profession in the field?
Truthfully, I'm not. But I am interested to know why you chose this path for yourself.
I see. I suppose that seeking to understand the motivation for selecting one's path is a worthy pursuit. I believe that when choosing a path, particularly of a scholarly nature, one must take into account both one's enthusiasm for a particular subject, as well as how one may best serve the students to whom one is obligated to both inspire and teach.
Of course, Professor.
I recall it quite vividly. It was the summer between my 6th and 7th years. I read in the Prophet about a wizard who'd been selling alchemy eggs and disappeared in the mountains near my home. I knew of the alchemy, of course, from my studies, but they are native to lands east of here, such as India. I wondered if it was possible that an alchemy could be so nearby. Hence, I went to find it.
What type of beast is an alchemy?
It is a spectacular beast. A feathered, winged serpent-like creature that can grow or shrink to fit a particular space. Its eggs are made of pure silver, hence the desire to trade in them.
Seems quite a challenge, finding an alchemy in the mountains.
It was. After a few days, during which my parents grew increasingly annoyed at my absence, I found what little remained of the wizard egg trader. He was near a tree hollow, and there, inside, was a nest with 7 silver alchemy eggs.
What did you do with them?
Nothing. Beasts are to be valued for what they can provide for wizard kind. Protective clothing, potion ingredients, even wand cores. Only poachers see the value in ending a beast's life for galleons. I left the eggs alone. I hid, and moments later, the beast flew right over my head. Breathtaking. She then seemed to all but disappear as she shrunk to fit into the hollow.
That sounds incredible.
Indeed. I knew in that moment that I needed to understand all that I could about beasts and ensure that wizard kind learned to benefit properly from them. Now, I trust that I have answered your question. You would do well to continue your study of beasts, regardless of your chosen beasts and all that they provide.
I shall remember that, Professor.
Blah, 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 blah. Geb.
Bombarda!
Excellent. You have it well in hand.
You alright, dude? What are you doing?
The Pinch Smedleys will always look upon you as a trusted ally and friend.
Race Pinch Smedley? You're still standing out here on the dock? Listen, we picked up the stuff from the bottom of the lake like 8 months ago. I guess that's not true. 4 months ago. It was spring then. Or it was fall then. Something. Don't you think you should go inside? Alright, I'm done. Good night. Thank you, Richard and Dante, for coming and saying hi. Farewell.